Hi, Libras. Welcome to Adik Tarot, the beginning of the truth. Let's talk about the stages of change and the energies that you may be experiencing within the next 30 days going into the new year of 2020. Now, this message is for Libras, anyone with Libra in their chart guided to my channel, and cross watchers as well. Keep in mind, this is a general message, and it may not resonate with everyone. This message intent is strictly for guidance. So, okay, Libra, let's get into your energies. To begin, I'm going to start off with some messages from the Eyes of the Soul Oracle deck. And our first message of guidance is from the Golden Solar Angel, and she's asking you to embrace enlightenment. So at this time, and with these energies going into the new year within the next 30 days, you could be in an environment where it could be cold, you know. You may be in an environment where at times you feel alone. Or if it's not an environment, you may be in a situation where there may be, a cold feeling around you, where you may feel like, how, this cloudy situations, and you may feel alone and stuck in this coldness, where at this point you have to embrace the enlightenment of your circumstance from within, and understand that no matter what the situation is that is around you, there is always I want to say a light at the end of the tunnel. And that ending of the tunnel, or that is your soul, that ending of the tunnel is to your higher self, where no matter what the situation that you may feel stuck in, the answers are within you. And just looking at this card, Libra, to embrace enlightenment, she is, in a area where, it's stormy situations, there may be a lot of coldness in the environment, yet she has a flower that she's holding. And through this flower is where she finds that enlightenment. And that enlightenment is within her. And that enlightenment is connected to her higher self. And during these energies, you must embrace that enlightenment from within. Because no matter what the circumstance that you're in, no matter what the situation is, the answers are within you. And in order to find them, you must connect to your higher self. Our next card for guidance is to be curious and look deeper. And this is the Welsh Fairy Glen. So with this card, Libra, it's important for you to not just take situations at face value. It's important for you to be curious and look deeper into your circumstances. Look deeper into the situation and be curious, because people are not showing them their true selves. Some circumstances are not what they seem, at face value. So you must be curious. You must look deeper, because there's deeper meanings to these circumstances and to these situations. And by connecting to your higher self and being curious, you're going to find those answers to help guide you within these next 30 days into the new year. So when it comes to the spread and the stages of change that you may be experiencing at this time, what is over and done with, we have the card of the Page of Cups. So what's over and done with is playing with a situation. and maybe looking at the situation immaturely, and not looking at it through your higher self, or not reacting to it from your higher self. This is over and done with. You must connect with your higher self. You can't play with circumstances when it comes to your life, when it comes to your well-being, being if it's with love, if it's with your family, especially when it comes to your emotions. It's important to, you know, be mature in your way, and not take situations so lightly, especially when the circumstance is a bit more, important or immediate. So while it's good to have a light heart in some situations, what's over with and done with is dealing with situations immaturely, playing with serious matters, or I don't want to say playing with it, but just being immature with your dealings. It's time to connect to your higher self at this time. Because whatever the situation is that you played with, Libra, at this time, there's a standstill. And you may not be speaking with the person. You may have taken a step back from a situation, where we have the card of the Four of Swords, where there's some situations looming around you that needs to be addressed or wants to be addressed, but you choose to, take a rest away from it, playing dead from the situation, because you need to take this time to understand where you've been, you know, and see how it's got you to where you are now. And at this time, you're about to leave this time, but it's time to determine where you want to go. And when you determine where you want to go, you have to determine what's going to make you feel stable, what's going to allow you to be free within your culture, free within yourself. Where you're heading at this time, Libra, we have the card of the Seven of Pentacles. So you're heading towards your goals. You're heading towards your stability. You're heading towards, putting that work in. Also, where you're heading to, Libra, you have to be patient. You have to allow the situation to grow. You have to nurture the situation, feed it, and watch it grow. And while you're feeding it, while you're nurturing it, you have to have faith in the abilities of yourself in this situation, that you can make the situation grow. But what you might expect is the Seven of Swords, that you might expect someone trying to sneak away without addressing the situation. You may expect someone to be sneaky and deceitful within a situation. And no matter what, you can't you have to hope for the best, and don't put your expectations towards a situation that you really don't know what the outcome is going to be. Understanding that, whatever this situation is, Libra, that you're dealing with, that you're being tested, your faith is being tested at this time. And it's important for you to look at this situation for what it is, and not be immature when making your decisions, and not deciding to ignore a situation instead of addressing it. While it's good to take a break away from the situations to get your bearings and get your understanding and see where you want to go with it, it's excuse me, it's also important for you to make the choice and to believe in yourself on a direction that you want the situation to go in. Excuse me, Libra. Now, this is what you're supposed to learn right now, Libra. We have the card of the Five of Pentacles. You're supposed to learn how it feels to be left out in the cold. You're supposed to learn, with the Five of Pentacles, how to know that it's not what we go through, it's how we look at the situation. It's not to feel like, with these challenges and with the changes that we deal with in life and the conflict, that we are not in despair when it comes to it. We can't think that when there's challenges and when there's changes and when a conflict that comes around, that we have to fight people. We have to make them feel unwanted. We have to push them away. When it comes to changes and when it comes to challenges and when it comes to conflicts, it's important for you to, again, have that faith in yourself. And it's important to know it's not what you're going through, it's how you deal with it. And know that when situations go through changes and when situations go through conflict and when situations go through challenges, it's placed here to refine the power that's inside of us and inside of our knowing by connecting to our higher self. So it's going back to this coldness, being in the mountains, on a mountaintop, not having that someone at times to turn to, feeling like, you have a dark cloud just looming over your situation. And it's important for you to connect to your higher self, embrace the enlightenment that you have within inside of you. And it's important for you to trust your inner knowing. And it's important for you to see the circumstances for what they are, the lessons to be learned through these circumstances, Libra. And it's not about, again, being or making someone feel left out on the cold. And it's not about feeling like, you have to protect yourself to prevent from being left out in the cold. It's about you refining that power inside of you and looking for the positive outcome, looking for the ways in what you can do to prevent this situation, and knowing what in these situations is placed here to refine that power that's inside of you. So I'm going to pull out my clarifying deck for this spread, Libra. And it's important for you right now when it comes to the changes in your life, when it comes to the challenges, and when it comes to the conflict. It's important for you, again, to connect with your higher self. It's important for you to seek that wisdom from, the people that, are wise, that's been through these situations, that have, that can bring you back to your morals and the things that is necessary. And what is necessary when it comes to changes, when it comes to challenges, and when it comes to conflicts. What's necessary is that power that's inside of you. And it's what's necessary is for you to refine that power that's inside of you in order to overcome these challenges and changes and conflicts. So during this time, if you have to seek help from a counselor, if you have to, go back to your religion, even by tapping into spirituality, feel free also. You can hit me up for a personal reading on your circumstance. But it's time for you to, go towards what's right in a situation. And it's not about you doing the things that's needed just to protect yourself temporarily when you're still feeling some type of way and the situation is still lurking and roaming around you. Right now, judgment is being, it's judgment time. And, by looking back at how you handled situations in the past, you have to have compassion with yourself on where you want to go in the future. And, not be hard on yourself because of decisions that you made in the past. You did the best that you could with what you knew, but when you know better, you do better. And this is for you to understand. And right now, it's time for you to connect back to your soul, connect back to your spirit, the spirit of your higher self, and look back at, the situation with compassion for yourself, but use this power that's refined and that's, is within you to move forward in the right way. So in any situations, you have to have faith in yourself. You have to understand by being deceitful, being sneaky, using deception, using manipulation is not the right way to go, because it's going to continuously have you trying to avoid being left out in the cold. But that type of act is causing you to be left in the cold in the long run. So that's something to think about, Libra. And when it comes with the childish, or dealing with situations immaturely and, playing with situations and, taking major things, lightly, it's time to grow up out of that. That time is no longer. It is time for you to again look at situations from your higher self. It's time for you to address situations maturely and know that when you connect with your higher self, when you address situations maturely, you can celebrate everything that you have. You can also celebrate everything that you achieve. But by playing with situations that you know are important, by going at situations immaturely, it's going to prevent you from achieving that success that you want in your situation. And when it comes to, what's, the situation being over, but the effects is still lingering on, where you're deciding to take some time to step away from the situation, it's allowing you to remember, the things that's important to you. It's allowing you to connect back to, what makes you happy when there was a happy moment in this situation. And it's allowing you to connect and remember and treasure, where you've been, you know? And it allows you to see where you want to go now, you know? So take the happiness from the experiences that you've had, and you can take that happiness into, your future. And, by taking the time to connect back to what makes you free within yourself, what makes you feel free within your home, what makes you feel free within your culture. And this is the time. And to understand that in any situation, Libra, that balance is definitely necessary, So where you're headed to right now with the Seven of Pentacles and having faith that your situation can grow into whatever you desire in your home, within your foundation, in your work, in your circumstance. You have to have faith in yourself. You have to embody the energies of the King of Wands by being that leader, by being that initiator, and knowing that you are successful at anything that you do. And not being afraid of who you are, Libra. Are you ignoring your higher self at this time? And this is the time to connect back to your higher self. Fuck what the commoners are doing, you know? And it's time for you to do what you know. And it's time for you to be who you know that you are. And when it comes to what you expect from this situation, see, you're expecting the worst, Libra, with the 10 of Swords. You're thinking too hard about the outcome of the situation. You're thinking too, and you're thinking about, what you've already been through. And that's okay. But when you think about what you've been through already, do you see your part? Do you see your truth in the ending? And that's why right now you have to be balanced in these situations. You can't just look at the situation for what you want it to be. You have to see it for what it is. And you have to be curious and you have to look deeper and not just look at the shit from a surface value. And you have to be, most importantly, true to yourself. So instead of thinking that you have to avoid a situation, that you have to ignore a situation, that you have to manipulate a situation by being deceitful, by lying about a situation, or by believing that someone else is going to lie to you. First and foremost, what we think about, we bring about. And you have to remember that. So it's about that, going back to that faith in yourself, Libra. See the truth in the ending and see that you don't have to be deceitful. By standing in your truth is all that's necessary. We are fucking adults. We not no little ass kids. And pardon my French, but we don't have to lie to anyone. We don't have to be afraid of what the outcome of a situation is going to be when we stand in our truth. And this is the time for you to stand in your truth, Libra. And what you're supposed to learn from this situation when it comes to the Five of Pentacles and feeling like you're going to be left out in the cold and trying to prevent the situation, feeling that you're going to have a loss in a situation, feeling like you're going to be without. What you're going to learn is through any circumstance that you have to have strength, and that know that through any circumstance that you are as strong as you need to be, and that you can deal with whatever comes your way, because you have the strength of the beast inside of you as well as the compassion of the Empress, because you are truly the Empress. And you have to understand, when it comes to situations, when it comes to changes, when it comes to challenges, when it comes to conflict in your home, in your finances, in your circumstances, that you can deal with whatever comes your way. That you don't have to use lies. You don't have to use deceit. You don't have to be manipulative in order to get the things that you desire for yourself. What you must do is come within your truth, Libra. So understand that when it comes to being strong, it's not always about being able to, cut a motherfucker off, especially when you're not satisfied within a situation, but in order just to protect yourself, you feel like you just got to cut someone off and not speak to them. And understand that that's fine if that's what you choose to do, but you have to be able to end a situation as well, instead of letting it linger on and not having that complete closure. So right now it's about, being mature about your situation, seeing it for what it is, and, celebrate what you have. It's about understanding, you know, situations, happen, and that you dealt with them the best way you could. By having that time out from a situation, you know where you've been. You know where you are now. You know what direction that you want to go. And in order to move in that direction where you can remember and treasure your happiness from the past and know in the direction you want to still experience these happiness in the future as well, you have to believe in yourself. You have to put the work into your home, the situation. You have to be patient. You have to nurture it and watch it grow. And you have to have that faith and be that leader and know that you are successful at anything you do, everything that you do. So I'm going to end this spread, Libra, with some final cards of advice. So our first card is about your emotions and not wanting to deal with some situations. You might feel discontent and bored within a situation and not want to address it. And what's happening is you're not allowing yourself to step into your true freedom, by not looking at the situation for what it is and seeing the blessings that is available for you. So it's important for you to be curious. It's important for you to look deeper, Libra, and take the time of solitude in order to connect back to your higher self. The answers that you're looking for within this situation is not outside of you. You can get guidance from others, but the answers that you're looking for are inside of you, and you have to connect back to your higher self, Libra. So I'm going to end this reading on that. And so understand within the next 30 days, when it comes to these changes, it's time to step into our higher self, Libra. It's time to deal with situations maturely. It's time to connect again to our soul, connect to our spirit. Take the time that's needed in order to find the answers within. Embrace enlightenment from within you. Listen to yourself. Listen to your spirit, because the spirit is sending you a message. And it's important for you to open your eyes to it. There are blessings around you. There are lessons within these situations and circumstances that you find yourself in. But you have to have faith in yourself. You have to have faith in your abilities. You have to be able to connect into that strength within yourself and know that you can deal with whatever comes your way. So again, this is Adik Tarot, the beginning of the truth. Libra, please like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. If you have any questions or concerns, just check the description box. Personal readings are available as well. It's time to change. It's time to connect with your higher self. It's time to grow up in a circumstance into your adult self, let's say, into your higher self, and see, your part in a situation, see where you want a situation to go, and embrace the enlightenment that you find within these next 30 days, Libra. So I'll see you guys soon. Peace.